That whole thing about, you put on a dress and you selling out, that is not an artist's mindset. When you're an artist, you know, you go out and you create art.
I like that he responded in this way because I have wanted to hear another perspective on this whole, comedians, black men dressing in dresses thing, because everybody thinks it's this conspiracy to emasculate black men. And I just feel like that's such bullshit. I think it's a cop out. I think black men love to find reasons to explain away their irresponsibility. You don't know who's doing the bending, because people that are doing the bending may not always be in dresses, but they still doing the bending. So wearing the dresses isn't always a signifier that you was doing some bending. Black men seem to like to work out their hate towards black women in their comedy. And a part of them working out their hatred for black women in their comedy is dressing like them and making the women seem even more masculine, aggressive. And to be clear, you can act like it's all fun and games, but there was some real nastiness with the way black women were depicted to me by black men in comedy. When you talk about Jamie Foxx playing Wanda, thirsty ass, handsy, ugly woman running around, running after men that don't want her. And then when they reject her after she done sexually assaulted them, then she plays the victim. Also, then you graduate so you don't want to offend people as much, right? On Martin, we can offend people. It's a show. It's different. It's close to the Def Comedy Jam shit. Once we graduate to Big Mama's house, stereotypical mammy shit. And while I don't feel like that makes Martin a bad guy per se, we didn't think about the way you did Pam on the show. Then we think about what actually happened behind the scenes with Gina. Jamie Foxx just recently had some stories come out on him, which I ain't gonna say I won't believe, because I listened to Jamie Foxx's comedy shows back before it was politically incorrect to be the way they were. Y'all go back and watch some of these niggas' comedy specials from the 90s and the early 2000s. It's a lot of anger towards black women in the art, in the comedy. And I think that if we're going to have a conversation about black comedians wearing dresses, let's talk about how that masculated black women, not how it emasculated black men. Because to be very clear, Martin is doing just fine. Honestly, men dressing as women is a one-trick pony type of joke. Everybody has done it, and nobody really disrespects or emasculates any of the black men that do it. So why on social media do y'all always have to show how much y'all hate women and how homophobic y'all are whenever we talk about black male comedians, actors dressing as women? To me, it is merely an extension of insecurities within yourself, feeling like you're not as much of a man as the other counterparts, white, whatever. That's something going on inside of you, black man. Your emasculation is your own, because it's about you. You see how these men dressed in dresses and still went out and made their money and got their wives and got their kids and got their cushy lives? And emasculation is not even a part of the conversation, because when the last time did somebody think they could walk up to Martin, Eddie Murphy, or any of these black men and disrespect them? But it did emasculate black women. It did make it seem as if now, instead of these men dressing as women, now y'all will look at women and say that the women are like men. To me, it seems like the comedians and the black men in the community making fun of black women and dressing up as black women was more harmful to black women than it was to black men. If women are not light-skinned, smart but acting stupid, strong but acting weak, then they're masculine.